Claire, how you doing?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Brilliant. You look lovely. You look
Oh,
absolutely
thank you.
gorgeous. I love the colours. I
I
love
made
the
an effort.
good for you. Good. Good for you. Good for you. Well, exactly. What do they say? If I don't, nobody else will. So I'm trying myself with the colours recently. I hope you've noticed as well. I'm trying as well to be colourful. But look, Claire, it's lovely to have you on. And
Thank you.
and loads of massive welcomes here from Rhonda, from Heidi, from Lucy, from Anita. So obviously it takes a lot to come on here and share your story. And everyone watching this will be at different stages of their journey. A lot of people will be at the beginning where they haven't started yet. They're scared, they've self-doubt, they fear. So if we go right back to the start there, I suppose, before we met, and you could let us know a bit about what you were struggling with in terms of your weight before we met.
So, right back at the beginning, I started to have a weight problem probably when I was a child, um, and was made aware of it by certain people. That made me feel really rather crap. But the weight did fall off. As you know, you grow up. I grew up and I grew in, so I became, as you should be, really. Um, Three children came along and weight started to go on after them. So in my early 30s, really. So between my 30s and 40s, I was getting bigger and bigger, and didn't seem to have any luck. Or did I really try? I have to question that. Um, so late 30s, 40s, I did lose weight. I lost weight with Slimming World. I lost 3 stone with them. And I also did the Cambridge diet, shock horror. But I lost another 3 stone with the Cambridge diet and managed to keep the weight off really until late 40s, 50s when it started to go on again really quite fast. And I was in total denial, total denial. I was very happy, um, eating what I liked and drinking what I liked and thinking to myself, oh, I'm getting away with it. I'm getting away with it. Was I heck? Really wasn't getting away with it. Um,
Just going back to what you said, Claire, about denial.
yeah,
In terms of things that you'd say to yourself to downplay the problem, like it's not that bad, people bigger than me, or I've
yeah,
lost, or I can do it again.
exactly.
What were the main forms of self-talk that you use, perhaps that
Exactly that. I've lost the weight before. I can do it again when I'm ready.
gotcha?
And particularly, I'm getting away with it.
Yeah.
I never got on scales. I was too frightened. But I was getting away with it. I was telling myself up here.
And
Until I realized that I really wasn't getting away with it and I had to do something mainly because of health.
what's
I
that?
was becoming terrified. Say
What
that
was that?
again, sorry.
What was that point of enough is enough? What made you feel that, you know what, I'm not getting away with it anymore?
Um, it was health, really. I could see that I was really quite a big lass. Um, I couldn't keep up with people when I was walking with them. I was getting out of breath. Um, I used to look at the exercise videos I used to do. I used to do Insanity, and I loved it. I loved it. And I thought, God, I couldn't even, think about putting the exercise clothes on, never mind doing the video now. And that made me really sad. And my health really was the biggest reason. I was terrified of having a stroke. I was terrified that my heart was just sitting in a bag of fat and I was going to have a heart attack. Not that I hadn't had any symptoms, no chest pains or anything like that, but it was really worrying me. I'm a nurse. I see these people coming in, and I didn't want to be one of them. So I probably for a good couple of years losing the weight was on my mind and I was trying this and I was trying that, but nothing really happening. And I kept seeing your posts coming up on Facebook and having a little listen and walking away again and coming in and having a little listen and walking away again. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to see what you've got to say, see what you've got to say. So that's when I joined you in, I don't know, early May. And we had our conversation and I took the plunge and came on board with you.
So what
And because I realized, Alex, that I couldn't do it on my own. I needed people there, somebody there to say, come on, Claire, you can do this.
people to support you, people around you. And I think we're kind of brought up in a mechanism of like, oh, I can figure it out myself, or like it's almost like we're brought up when asking for help is a sign of weakness.
Mhm.
I actually think it's the opposite, sign of strength. And this is why I've got two coaches myself, and I'll always have coaches because it's how we keep getting better. It's how
Yeah,
we,
absolutely.
and you mentioned,
And it's not that I haven't used coaches before, you know, I'm developing a property business and I've got coaches. I've got people who have done it before to show me what to do. I've done mindset courses, you know, with a coach that I used to join every week to discuss various things and say what's going on ahead. So why was I not the penny not dropping with my weight as well? I needed that coaching.
and what's quite frightening about it with her weight is that like heart disease kills more women than breast cancer, but most people don't know that.
Hmm.
And because if you find a lump, you don't sit on your hands, you go straight away.
Exactly.
But with their weight, because it's so gradual, it's very, very easy to brush it under the carpet or keep wearing baggy clothes or saying things like,
Hmm.
I've lost it before I can do it again. But it starts to get harder, as you mentioned, once you hit 40. And
Yeah.
then,
And it's embarrassing.
yeah, of course, of course. And what have you achieved? I love this question.
Well, well, not as much as I would have liked to. I'm nearly at the 2 stone mark off. But with that, that's bought clothes that are looser on me, particularly my choir robes that I am delighted because the blessed things kept coming undone. Luckily, I wear a surplice on the top, so you can't see. But it was really annoying me that it kept coming undone. And yes, I put it on, well, a few weeks ago now, and I thought, huh, this button is staying done up. It's marvelous. Being able to walk with my friends and to stay, keep going with them, you know, walking up the stairs, it's no longer standing at the bottom thinking, oh, I've got to drag myself up there, you know, and holding on to the banister to literally pull myself up sometimes. Now I'm going up there, carrying things as I'm going, not needing to hold on to anything. And, you know, if I've got to go up again after I've come down, it's, you know, it's actually, oh, great, bit more exercise.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And coming down the stairs, I was noticing at work, I was holding on to the banister all the time just to keep me stable because my legs had just lost strength because I was no longer doing any exercising. Um, I'm not doing that anymore, you know, which is great. I'm able to carry things down the stairs and I don't need to hold on, which is fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
Every day, a constant reminder of the fact that you're every day.
Yeah.
Less breath, holding a conversation up and down the stairs. And there's so many amazing comments here. Two stories, ha, they're all eating you alive for saying I haven't achieved that much to be here, but they're
There's
doing it.
still a way to go. There's still a way to go, but you know, yeah, 2 stones is amazing. And I've been away 3 times over the past 2 months and
Wow.
stayed about there as well. So I mean,
That's
that's
huge.
amazing.
That's class right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Because that showcases sustainability. They don't want your life to go on hold to do this. It should be the other way around.
Mm,
You should be able
yeah.
to build around your life. And what makes you think this is sustainable as opposed to just being a flash in the pan?
It's absolutely sustainable because with planning, you can sort out what you're going to eat. I mean, it's easy to ring a restaurant, isn't it, if you're going out? It's easy to ring them and see, or to have a look at the menu online, see, right, I'm going to have X, Y, and Z. That's how that's going to work. I
Yeah.
mean, from a drinking point of view, I was putting away 3 bottles of wine a week.
Mm.
Um, and that was my biggest thing, saying I'm getting away with this and I'll have this because I can.
Mm.
You know, I don't drink at home anymore. That was something that I decided I would do because that was my danger point. If I'm out, you know, I'll have 1 glass of wine and that's fine. But yeah, I don't drink at home anymore. It's dangerous, so let's not do
But
it.
having that simple rule there, obviously it'll benefit you financially. You're not spending money on wine like that every
Yeah,
week. But most of all, you'll feel better, more energy, you'll sleep better.
absolutely. I feel so much better.
Of
You
course.
know, I was waking up with a headache on the mornings where I'd drunk a bottle of wine the night before, and it was the bottle. I couldn't stop at just one.
Yeah.
It was the bottle. So I had a headache in the morning, you know, so I got to get through that to get to feeling normal around about lunchtime if I'm lucky. you know.
The thing is, if you're low in energy like that, it impacts everything.
It
Whatever,
really does. It really does.
100%. It's
Yeah.
very difficult to be motivated if you've got low energy. It's
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
actually. And what would you say to someone now who's sitting on the fence, who perhaps is guilty of trivializing the problem or downplaying it, or if it isn't used to investing in themselves or isn't used to putting themselves first? What would you say to someone who was genuinely struggling?
I would say don't think about it for a minute longer. Just get in there and sort yourself out, because you will feel 100% better the minute you do it. Just knowing that you've got that support there, and the coaches reach out to you, and you've got that conversation with you, going with you. I mean, I post to Pete what my exercise days are going to be, and then I have to send him a little photo of what I've done, looking very sweaty Betty.
For sure.
And that keeps me going. So I think, oh, I've told Pete I'm going to do that exercise today, so I've got to do it.
You're being held accountable. You don't want to let
Yeah,
him down. Of
absolutely. Yeah. If you're sitting on the fence, just have that conversation, make that call.
course.
And I was so worried, if you remember, that I'd missed my call with you.
I remember
And
that.
I was really upset, really, really upset, that I thought I've missed the boat. I can't do it.
Because it's one to one, like we're limited in terms of who we can bring on and who we
Yeah.
can't bring on. But Claire, like when I speak to someone like yourself who is very self-aware and is a great communicator and has got a very strong why, like that's what we need. Someone who's self-aware, a great communicator, and a strong why. Because if someone wanted to lose weight or work with us for like losing a half stone for some holiday. Like we can't prioritize that person. But if someone has got more weight to lose and has noticed it's starting to really affect them, like
Mm.
psychologically, physically, especially if you go up and down the stairs and you're noticing that, because it's a constant reminder, constant psychological reminder.
Yeah.
And the comments here, by the way, are just incredible. And let's think of one last thing we can do and say together to help everyone watching this. If you had to pick something or two things that you perhaps are doing now that you think really helps keep you on track or gets you back on track if you have a wobble, like what two things, if you had to pick two, have really helped you?
Knowing that I've got Pete there for accountability,
Yeah.
and I put my goal into our chat, so that I know that he knows I've got to be doing that, and just he's there all the time, my diet that I'm eating, I'm thinking, yes, this is good, this is good, this is good. Yes, I can tick myself off with Pete there. And having my goal in front of me all the time. Why am I doing this? And obviously, having the success of being able to run up the stairs now, I can
Yeah.
see that it's working. It's working.
Awesome.
My goal, as you know, is my slinky size 12 blue dress.
100%.
Yeah, and that's there, and yeah, I've pulled out a dress that I just used to love wearing, so I keep that in sight.
And Claire, when you have a growth mindset, and you obviously ooze growth mindset when you've had coaches and mentors in other aspects of your life as well, which a lot of people don't have, by the way. So I love that about you. Second, when you communicate and you value that accountability, that blue dress, it's inevitable. Because if you keep learning, keep talking to us, you can't not succeed. It is literally impossible to not achieve your goal if you keep talking to us and you keep learning. So it's a
That's it,
matter.
and it is tempting, if you do have a wobble, to go quiet,
Of course,
thinking, oh, I failed that. But that is the key. You have to keep communicating.
keep communicating, keep talking to us. We have a
Yeah.
90% success rate, and the only way someone falls into that 2% if they stop talking to us. Now, I love when you send the goal to Pete, because what you're doing is you're actually creating an external commitment.
Mm,
Well, I've told myself now, I've told him I'm doing it. I have
exactly.
to do it now,
Exactly.
and it's really good. You've already made the decision. You've made the decision prior to how you're feeling at the time, which means emotion doesn't get a look in.
That's right.
So proud of you, Claire.
Mm.
So many lovely comments here. If you can get back to a couple of them, that'd be lovely. There's a lot here, to be fair. Love the blue dress. Can't wait to see you in the blue dress. Want to see a pic of the blue dress. Oh, lots of comments here from Deborah Hunt, VJ, Judith. And I want to thank everyone for coming on here, by the way, guys. and for taking part, for supporting each other. Again, if you are struggling, click on the messenger link in the description. And Clare, thank you for coming on. You're a breath of fresh air. You're a massive success. You should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all the help you give us.
Pleasure. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.